Time for business, and we're talking about digital economy, and we know that I present a lot more opportunities as well for businesses and for accelerated economic growth. Well, let's look at what the president has been talking about, especially the president talking about how the digital economy is likely also to help development rapidly worldwide. It is the single most important driver of innovation, competitiveness and growth, and it also holds huge potential, especially for small, medium-scale enterprises. But there are questions about how businesses can adopt digital technologies to boost their operations. And so we all know that it's in the second year running, the Africa Mobile and ICT Expo. It opened yesterday, and we have invited the Chief Brand and Communications Officer, Alan Gbiaso, in the studio. His company, Costas Company, they are organizing this very event in collaboration with their sponsors and event organizers, and we say the conversation is going to be great. How are you, Alan?
I'm great, thank you very much, and good morning to all your viewers.
How do you think it went yesterday for you?
For first day, it was excellent. We were grateful to have the president pass through, and you know, especially him talking about the digital economy and how important it is for our development as a country and as Africa. For us, it was a great show of his commitment to that cause, and it was an opportunity to show him what we were doing, what young people in Ghana were doing with technology.
And so rightly, the president was there. So now let's watch him, what he said, and then the activities that took place. Then we'll be right back and continue the discussions.
Today we live in a digital and knowledge-based economy. It's no longer about production lines, but the intellectual and digital capacity of systems and people. This results in diverse opportunities for growth and job creation. It offers much more opportunity than ever existed before. With digital knowledge, our young men and women have information in their palms that would enable them succeed. One area of opportunity for our youth is in ICT services and applications. In the last few years, we have made significant progress in the sphere of entrepreneurship, support, and incubation programs. These are serving as a foundation for a strong digital ICT market, which involves the creation of an environment conducive for innovation and IT-enabled services and opportunities.
So the president talking digitization and how it's going to help the economy. But Alan, let me first ask you, when we talk of digital economy, what really are we talking about?
We're talking about a change in the economic system, one that is drawn by technology, not just the usual, I pay you some cash and you take some cash. Today, mobile money is at 37 million cedis as of last year. You know, that tells you that there's so much more money in the cloud than we think. That means that there's money available, and it also makes working easier. If I had to pay you some money today and I could quickly bounce it off my phone to you, if I could take money off my bank account and put them directly onto my phone. Elsewhere in Africa, people have been able to do it. I always talk about the Kenyan experience where even giving a tip, you could use your mobile money account to pay for. You want to pay a driver on the street, and he tells you, pay into my mobile money account. We want to get there so that we can rope in many more people, and that's one of the easiest ways of widening the tax net we talk about. There are many more who do not have bank accounts, but are doing business every day. Now, if you're able to rope them into the digital economy, then you can tax less, but have a wider number of people give you revenue as a country.
So it's all about reaching out to target groups and a lot more markets.
Yes.
Okay, but as far as digitization is concerned, for example, in marketing, we always talk about how sometimes the dynamics will be in such a way that people will lose jobs at one end, but there's profitability at the other end, and so helps in the design of products and services just to mainstream, as far as the value chain is concerned, the production of goods and services. How is that going to improve in the design of products and also services?
We're looking at, we call it a disruptive technology. Now, before you can cause any effective change, you've got to disrupt the system a bit. And when you disrupt, right, then you go. And that, you know, and so you realize that some time back, you had to walk all the way to Circle, for instance, to make a call outside the country. That system was disrupted. For us at the time, it was the best means of communication. Today, you have that information on your phone. Whoever can reach you anywhere at any time. Those times, if I wanted to visit you at home on a weekend, I could come all the way to you and realize you were not at home. Today, that disruptive technology has made it easy for us to be able to communicate at any point in time. Now, what we are saying is that when you disrupt the economy, you create other opportunities for other people. Today, everybody is getting paid off their mobile money phones and things like that. If we make a genuine effort, then we'll have many more people in the bracket, and then we'll create, look, this is a VR card reader. Now, this was made out of cardboard. Ideally, this is business for someone. Making this cardboard, and the guy who, for instance, designs an application that, if you haven't been to Paga, if you haven't gone to Kakum, it's an opportunity for someone to take shots of these places or videos of these places, put it in a VR coded system. And we can sell this off for you to be in Accra, but walk on the famous Kakum Park place. That is job for somebody. That is job for a cameraman. That is job for a photographer. That is job for a designer. And that is job for the one who decides to market this product. Obviously, we are going to create some businesses when we disrupt.
For many businesses, when there are some of these disruptions, they see them sometimes as threats, and sometimes because people would have to be multitasking and there will have to be cost-cutting measures, etc. So how should businesses in their holistic view look at it, threats as opportunities, as ways by which their businesses could be weakened, etc.?
2 days ago, we were talking about the fact that we have not seen CD players even in a long while.
Yes, we have not.
We have not. That
Come to think of it,
it's been disrupted.
we have not.
No one buys a CD player today because you have them on a pen drive. When we wait, the world will take us over. We're in a globalized economy where people are disrupting every day. We cannot want to sit in our comfort zone and say it would disrupt our system. We need to be creative. And you realize that one of the sections of the Africa Mobile Expo is on African innovation. And when you come there, you realize that people are making use of everyday technology to push whatever development you're looking at. Yesterday, there was a young boy who created a speedboat from Formica and other products locally found. Someone created a water pump. There's a young guy who actually has created another alternative way of getting electricity other than through the normal means. Now, we are saying that if we disrupt, it's an opportunity for us to think further. I'm sure many people were not using inventors in the past, but when we went through the problem of the energy crisis, that was a disruption to everyday business. People went into generators, which was then fuel issues. People went into solar panels. People went into inventors. What will happen is that when you wait, the world will pass you, but when you disrupt, you would adapt.
Yeah. And that's what technology is all about. And so we decided to broaden the conversation, and this is what we did, because it provides an interesting opportunity for the digital economy to also ensure there's a trend of collaborative consumption. And so we spoke to the CEO of PhD Media, Bright Lajakpo, about collaborative consumption, and this is what he told us.
The sharing economy, or the collaborative economy, or the on-demand economies, as some may call it, is happening where people get access to products or services as and when they want it, and within a short period of time without necessarily having to own that product. So in this space, the consumer is in control in terms of how the product is designed and how it is consumed and managed. This is thriving today because of the developments in the digital economy as regards the use of applications, websites, and other digital platforms. So the implication for business is that brands will have to now look out for where they can connect consumers to their products and services without necessarily dictating when and how these services are consumed. On the one hand, it's an opportunity for entrepreneurship. On the other hand, it's a threat to traditional models of business, where the transport industry, for instance, have been disrupted in the taxi area with Uber, where people share their private vehicles and are disrupting the model that the taxi industry all over the world has heavily relied on. So the future is that this collaborative economy will continue to thrive and grow, and it will have positive impact on the economy. And brands will have to reposition themselves in playing the role of a connector of one consumer at the supply end and the other consumer at the demand end.
Oh, Brian Lajakpo there. But that's why the expo is there, to give us a more expansive view about how technology can work for you and for businesses and for the ordinary consumer. And I was just following through the various interactive media pre-event activations that you were doing about somebody who had invented, is it a 3D technology printer, etc. and something. That even brought to me a question about how you, as event organizers, you see what really is going on in the digital economy, in the digital business, but also want to be innovative and bring out what the young ones have. What's the collaboration between your event and the institutions that tend to do training, etc.?
Interesting question. So when we did our first show last year, right after we went on a road show, we realized that just doing a technology fair without including the technology institutions was not the right way to go. So we went around all the universities, we went around some tertiary, some secondary schools, and pushed them to be creative and funded some of these projects you see today. What the digital economy brings is that there's an availability of information out there. Now, to do 3D printers is available everywhere, but you need funding to be able to put together a 3D printer. So what we do is that, do a 3D printer, we'll support you and present it. Yesterday, everybody came and they were either printing replicas of themselves, their logos, or stuff. If you broke a part in your phone today, you don't need to buy a new phone. You look at the picture of that part, you download it, you send it to these guys, and they print it right there for you, you fix it back.
That was great. But how do you think the fair is going to do, looking at what happened last year and how you hope to build on for this very year's fair? Last
year, by day 3, we were trending. Today, we started trending on the first day. That already told you that there's a huge conversation going on about it. On the first day, even though we had some slight rains, well, it was a huge rain actually, not slight, we had, by 2 o'clock, there were 674 people that had passed through. Now, we're expecting more today. There's actually a discussion on the digital economy today. There's a discussion on the over-the-top technology, whether we should ban WhatsApp and Viber and such calls. So I'm expecting that there will be some heated arguments today. There is also mobile money and whether you should benefit from the interest that the telcos are making on keeping your funds. And BOG has actually come out to say that this is what they're pushing for. You need to get what a profit on what you save. So really, it's an opportunity for us all to pass through. I call people to come to the fair. It's not the usual fair you see. This is a really engaging fair where we have seminars, we have conferences, we have the exhibition. And for the gamers, there's actually a games conference happening today. If you think you're the best guy who plays FIFA, whatever, or whatever other games, there are others better than you. But if you win, there's a prize.
All right. So the event place is where?
The Accra International Conference Center.
And you can pass through anytime?
Anytime. We're starting at 9 and we'll close at 7 p.m.
All right. Thank you for passing through the studio this morning. We hope to have you before the whole session ends.
Sure.
And we'll be grateful to get an insight as to what your whole view about how the fair went. And Alan Biaso, Odadia himself, has been with us.
Let me say a special thank you to Multimedia. We are not able to do some of these things without you. It's interesting that while sitting in the studio, people are already texting to say, look, we're watching you. You guys are doing a great show. Excellent platform. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Alan Biaso, Chief Brand and Communications Officer of Coasters Company. They are putting together the Africa Mobile and ICT Expo Fair, taking place at the Accra International Conference Center. Please make sure that you pass through. You get to see the best digital companies, the phone companies, the service providers, etc., all at one place. And as we go on with the conversation, you can always also get us live as we stream on our YouTube page, and we have that very channel, Major Online. And so please make sure you go there. And just make sure also you follow us through the various hashtag Mobex16 and on various platforms, Twitter, YouTube, and also on Facebook. We're taking a break. When we come back, we're talking about that lady who also has been trending. You know, size doesn't matter. I mean, my size really doesn't matter, does it? Her size also doesn't matter as well. And she greatly is in love with her would-be husband. And that's what we're talking about next.